beat yo. That beat yo.
Yeah, that mic that I spoke up, so I'll do it. Okay, we can yeah, it's a lighting, so it's cool.
Okay. What's going on, beautiful people? It's your girl, Miss Thurzday, and welcome back to another episode of Beats Per Minute podcast. Where hip hop, health, and matters of the heart are always in sync. I know this is a different look for me, but I got somebody very special in the studio, and we are actually chilling at the home of, Black Mass Records.
Chilling.
Everybody wear a mask, okay? Right here, I have DJ Mike Tyke, and I'm going to let him introduce himself because I think he could probably do it better than me.
Okay, what's up, world? Big shouts up to Miss Thurzday. Let's give it up for Miss Thurzday. You know, we right here tonight. How y'all doing tonight? I'm yours truly, DJ Mike Tyke, representing yours truly, Quad City DJs, 95 South, straight out of Duval.
Okay.
And we here tonight, gonna put y'all up on a little game and do what we got going on right now.
Okay, so It sounded like we might be talking a lot of bass. There's a lot of bass going on tonight.
Bad boys of bass.
Get my throat right, start can. No, I'm just messing. What's going on, Mike?
Hey, it's a blessing. It's a blessing. It's a beautiful blessing. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me to come out on Beats Per Minute podcast.
Thank you.
So it's my pleasure.
Thank you. Well, it's been a minute. We've been, kind of this back and forth trying to get this thing locked down. But, like I told you, I believe God always allows things to happen when it's supposed to. And we've been chopping it up over the last couple of days, and it's been awesome. So I want everyone to, just kind of get to know you, get to know some of the history of the First Coast and how hip hop hit that region. So I always like to ask my guests, what was that song, that thing that made you fall in love with hip hop?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a great question. Now, hey, I'm that guy,
Oh, okay.
And first of all, yeah, I am from the First Coast, straight up Jacksonville, Florida, Duval County. And I fell in love with hip hop, I'll be honest, I fell in love with hip hop when the cassette tapes were white.
Okay.
So do y'all know who had all the white tapes? Def Jam, Beastie Boys, Run DMC, Houdini, LL Cool J,
right.
Eric B. and Rakim.
That's right.
Fat Boys, Slick Rick, Dana Dane.
And it's always interesting because, lately, so many people I've been talking to have really been talking about how instrumental the Fat Boys was in the beginning days, but we ain't really been getting the love that I think that they deserve to get, as we're celebrating 50 years of hip hop. So it's always good to hear, people bringing them up. And shout out to Cool Roski, who's definitely holding them down. And so we talking early 80-ish, right?
Early 80s.
So, you get the bug,
mm-hmm.
and then you decide to DJ, like how that happened.
Well, it's a quick story, and I'll tell you like this right here.
Okay.
I was in junior high school, and it was going into my birthday. And my mom...
What's your test?
Yeah, my birthday was September 6th. And blessings, turned 51. 51 years young. And so my mom sent me to the Gateway Mall, the local mall in Jacksonville.
Gateway.
Put me on the bus. Put me on the bus with my big cousin, was like, here, Mike, here's some, $50, $75 go to the mall and, shop, get some clothes. So he was already, DJ Wiz. That was his, rap name. We always used to DJ. For some reason, everybody just used to rap. And, we were in the mall and we would get names printed up on shirts and sweatsuits. So he got DJ Wiz. So it was my time to get my stuff printed up. Mm-hmm. And the guy, we just standing in line. People was behind us and it was coming. It was like, yo, what you gonna put on your shirt? Mm-hmm. What you gonna put on your sweatpants? I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know. So my cousin was like, man, just put DJ Mike on there, man. So I put DJ Mike on there on my sweatpants, on my shirt, on my hat. And I went to school the next day, and all my fellas, we ranked back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So first it was a ranking thing. They was ranking on me because I had my name, on my outfit.
Mm-hmm.
But literally that became my neighborhood name,
Mm-hmm.
my stage name, and from this point on, that's how DJ Mike came into existence.
And then where did the Tyke come from?
Well, Tyke was my stage name.
Okay.
And when I moved to Orlando, and we'll get into that,
Mm-hmm.
but when I first started performing on the stage, big shouts out to my homie Three of the Players, 69 Boyz, Quad City DJs, and I came down, moved to Orlando, and they was like, yo, let's go with DJ Mike Tyke.
Mm-hmm.
And Tyke is short for tycoon.
Oh.
And a tycoon means that you're taking over everything.
Gotcha.
And from then and there, I just put the pen to the paper,
Mm-hmm.
and it was DJ Mike the Tyke.
Oh, okay.
DJ Mike the Tyke was my stage name.
Gotcha.
And he is my stage name.
Okay. Okay. So you get this outfit made at Gateway. That's all. Golf Fair.
Golf Fair.
Yeah, that was yeah.
Fair,
I used to go over there
Oh,
back
yeah.
in the day.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of the hood, y'all.
Yeah.
But, Jacksonville, I didn't move there until like 2003. Of course, I'm in Georgia,
Okay.
but I always worked up in Jacksonville. So I did time at Shands,
Okay.
did time at Mayo Clinic, so I was like all over. So, I feel like I grew up here,
Okay.
honestly. That 8 years was an interesting 8 years.
Gotcha.
But okay, so we, get our little outfit together. Now we got our name. We start DJing. And how do you get to a place where not only are you just DJing locally, but now you're getting involved with the 69 Boyz and 95 South, and y'all,
Wow.
putting the first post on the back.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, real talk. Big shouts out to 95 South. Big shouts out to 69 Boyz. Big shouts out to Quad City DJ, the whole Quad City DJs family.
And before you start, I really want you to kind of go in and explain, because, coming from up north, I had no idea the close-knit relationship that all three of those groups you just mentioned had. It was like, okay, this is the group, this is the group, this is the group. And you saw some correlation like on the albums or the cassette or the CD, but it didn't really click until like years later,
Right.
and hearing the interviews and stuff. So for those that have never heard an interview from any of you guys, like just really explain how that all kind of came to be and how closely knit y'all are.
Okay, most definitely. Well, first of all, half of us grew up in the church together.
Mm-hmm.
We grew up in the church together.
Shout out the church.
Yeah. Shout out to Northside Church of Christ.
Who was the pastor now?
Brother Charles McKenna, we just celebrated 50 years.
See that?
So thankful for having that foundation. That's first of all. Then the other half of the brothers, they grew up in the neighborhood.
Okay.
Pottsburg. That was your neighborhood in Jacksonville, Florida.
Southside.
Okay. Yeah. So before 95 South, before 69 Boyz, before Quad City DJs, we had a group called Chill Deal Boys. And a lot of you might remember that song, We Like Them Fat, but girls, we had It's All About the Money. So they had a lot of hits locally. There was a big local group in Jacksonville. So, I was friends with those guys. They used to come out. We used to do routines together.
Okay.
We would be in the yard, doing routines and stuff. And before you know it, they out on the road, gone. And I'm like, hey, where y'all going?
Yeah.
So, I'm like, okay, I'll catch you next round.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't, wasn't into music like that back then. We were just friends growing up. This was like junior high school.
I think I heard, and mark me if I'm wrong, Carlos from 95 South actually first started out as a dancer.
Yeah.
But no, okay.
Yeah, that's my best homie.
Okay.
We literally used to be in the club together making up routines.
Gotcha.
We used to be in the club, just laughing hard, he and making up routines. And from there, it just kind of took off. We came up to Georgia to get a record deal. Back then everybody shopping for their record deals. And of course, big shots out to Atlanta, Georgia. MC Shadi back in the days.
Yeah.
Everybody had their own, they had their lane here in Georgia. So it wasn't really receptive to our type of music that we were bringing out at the time. So we actually went to Orlando, Florida. We went and shopped in Orlando, Florida, and Orlando, Florida was actually dry. It was kind of, the one radio station was literally playing the same song their whole hours or two they was on the radio.
That didn't change a whole lot years later, but go ahead.
Yeah, so so we got there and we met a couple management, couple record labels, and they did their deals and what have you, and we had the studio. Everybody that came from Jacksonville, we had a studio right there in Orlando. It was a home.
Okay.
And just like this right here, just like a nice studio, if you came in town, hey, you come in here, you're going to do what you need to do. And Orlando was very receptive to us.
Okay.
And this was in the early 90s. And Whoop There It Is came out. And it just took off from there.
Okay.
And all the groups, our groups, from Quad City DJs to 95 South to 69 Boyz. And I get into my group in a little bit.
Oh, okay.
And everything took off from there.
Okay. So you guys are in Orlando. I know we talked about it. You was in Pine Hills.
Oh yeah, Pine Hills.
Shout out to Pine Hills.
Yeah.
Y'all, you definitely stayed in some very interesting parts of Florida. Because if you don't know about Pine Hills, look it up. I'm not going to get into it. But my sister lived out there from time to time.
Okay.
And that's how I kind of ended up in Orlando, is because my sister had been out there since probably about mid-90s or whatever. But anyway, so Whoop There It Is comes out, and then you got the Tootsie Roll coming out, and it's kind of funny because I know that one interview I saw a while back, Carlos and Mike was talking about how that was originally a 95 South song, but because of what was kind of going on at the time, it was decided let the 69 Boyz kind of come out. So between the two groups, I really had some bangers.
Oh yeah,
but it was
definitely
interesting to find out that they could have really all been on a 95 South album.
Yeah.
And that was really dope. So what made you guys, especially with the sound y'all had, y'all could have literally just went maybe 3 more hours south down to Miami. What made y'all want to come to Georgia or get stationed in Orlando? Why didn't y'all go that route and try to get with Uncle Luke and them?
Right, and you said it, because I was just about to say it. Look, Miami, they have their own sound, and that's the beautiful thing about cities and states that I've been as a DJ and international DJ, traveling to different cities, different states. Every city has their own type of music, so they're gonna stick with that. So they're not gonna let nobody just come in a city and try to bring a whole nother sound. And believe it or not, even though we had, the quad, Luke had the dancing music on lock.
Yeah.
So our thing is that, we came out, we need dancers. So, fast forward, my group was called Flip Flop.
Oh.
That was the name of my group.
Okay.
And God bless my homie Rico. He passed away early this year. Big ups. He was actually Carlos's daddy black. He was his older brother. Okay. So, but big ups, because he was the one that invited me to. Him and Carlos invited me to come to Orlando.
Okay.
So we had our group, which was called Flip Flop. So we saw how 69 Boyz were doing their thing. We saw 95 South were doing their thing. So being that we were all under the same Quad City DJs umbrella, we had to do our thing.
Gotcha.
So we had 2 guy dancers and we had 2 girl dancers.
Okay.
Because we talking about Miami, why we didn't go down there? It's like, we need dancers. Luke had dancers.
Luke definitely had dancers.
So if you look at it, if you just just think about it for a minute and look at the music of hip hop, just hip hop period, rap period. Back in the days on the stage, your stage presence was everything. You had dancers.
Yes.
While we were rapping, you didn't have a whole bunch of guys on the stage standing up, hype man and all that. You had an actual show. So, you had to put on a show, you know, and that's what we did, and that's how I came in the industry, putting on a show.
Okay. You said something really, really important. You mentioned about the quad, and a lot of people like let that bypass because it, you know, sometimes we just hear like the name Quad City TJ. So it's like, oh, well, what does that mean?
Right.
So what is the quad?
The quad is the bass. It's them 412s. It's the 215s. It's the big Rockford gauge amplifier. If you got a dump, if you got whatever, you got to have a quad to the bass, basically, to amplify your music.
So it's a certain type of speaker, correct? Or the way that it's all okay. Just, you know, for those that don't know, because I was always like, I just thought it was a name. I know Quad City, I know, you know. So just in case someone else is clueless like me, I figure I'll just throw that out there.
But that's why we here. That's why we on the podcast Beats Per Minute right now.
So besides, you know, Flip Flop and 95 South, and you know, there's been a lot of you know, music that has came out of Jacksonville. I know that, you know, during the time that I was living in that area, and what I've noticed even from being down south is almost like a self, like what's the word I want to use? Like y'all could go out and bring other people into this situation, but y'all really are good like in your own city. You know what I mean? Like down south, you know, it's kind of like this feel like even in Atlanta. People from Atlanta don't really need to go nowhere else.
Right. Yeah.
Because as long as they got you, like you good, you know. And I know that, you know, meeting a lot of friends, making a lot of friends in Jacksonville, you know, from where I worked at and stuff, I would hear names, but I wasn't really like listening to a lot of hip hop music like that.
Right.
You know, and at the time, you know, my ex-husband, being that we're from up north, he was still getting stuff from up north.
Right.
So I started getting more exposed to music from down south actually through my oldest daughter.
Okay.
So she's going to school and she's, you know, going to parties and all that, and I'm hearing the little stuff on her, what you used to call the iPods or whatever. Like I'm like, well, where, you know, like who's that? Like what's that? So talk about like what that sound, even, you know, beyond like your group and the different groups during the 90s that started coming from there, because I know that you have taken interest in not just what you did, but making sure that like you guys actually passed on the torch and that y'all was there for artists that were, you know, coming up under y'all. So talk about like the idea of like what the Jacksonville or Duval sound became, like even going into the 2000s.
Wow. Yeah, that's great. That's some great history because actually I answered your question with actually we just got my homies 95 South just got inducted into the library, the museum, you know, much straight they gave them the flowers, Jacksonville, and all over the city, you know, we're seeing our they have billboards, the interviews that we're doing, you know, the history, and it's just really something that needs to be told, you know, because back then we were really, you know, selling records out the trunk, you know, and really doing the Chitlin circuit and all that good stuff. So it's like, just like Georgia, just like Atlanta, Georgia, everybody has their own sound, you know, and but Jacksonville, you know, we're on the water, we're on the beach,
a lot of
you know, so it's mostly, you know, freestyling, it's mostly, you know, everybody's kind of doing their own thing, but we're family, you know, and it used to be the Bold City of the South, you know, it should still be that, but when we came out, we were more or less, you know, wanting to bring our city up at the same time, you know, so if you go back and you listen to a lot, right now to this day, if you listen to a lot of Jacksonville artists, you know, outside of us, you have Young Cash, even now, one of the biggest hip hop artists out of Jacksonville, Lil Papa, you know, We got a whole lot of artists. Chameleon, the young lady. Big shouts out to all the DJs that promote our music. We're a city of love.
Yeah.
So we our main thing is to really capture anybody that comes out of our city and make sure that the music that they're putting out, has a little accent, has a Duval accent. So that's kind of, make sure they put that accent on it.
Yeah.
The Duval accent.
So now, I see you got your shirt on.
Oh, yeah.
Power Moves Entertainment.
Oh, yeah.
Talk to me about what that's about and what you're trying to do in the future.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Well, Power Moves Entertainment came up, I say like in 2012, 2010 through 2012.
Okay.
I was raising up my son, as a single father, and professional truck driver, got my professional DJing, professional barber styling, professional landscaping. So I just felt like, we're making power moves. Yeah. What'd you say?
Nothing.
I say, I just felt like I was making power moves.
Okay.
And then when I got with my DJ crew, I met some brothers. We were at a DJ set, and it was just a regular party, and the guy equipment went out on him. And it just so happened I had just had that same problem. So we didn't know each other from whatever. And I was like, yo, let me, plug this in. Let me do this. And the party went on. I was like, yo, man, we're making power moves, man. We gotta stick together type.
Gotcha.
And that's how Power Move DJs, Power Move Entertainment, came about.
Okay. And so when you look at the landscape of hip hop now, right? Of course, with this show being called Beats Per Minute, one of the things that I always wanted to kind of bring into the idea of our conversation is the difference between the beats per minute that you actually hear now compared to back then. So back when you guys were doing y'all thing, y'all was like up in like 120, 130. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 138,
and I think we like
137.
Yeah, most songs about now is like 60 to 70 of that.
Yes.
Talk to me about the idea of like how that kind of has even affected just the landscape of hip hop. Like, you guys brought so much energy, and then the mixes were crazy. Like y'all taking these crazy fast songs and then put like a slow song like The Light on there. Like what like how, like who even was thinking of that?
Right.
Talk to me about that.
Gotcha. Well, we always made sure whenever we did an album, like I say, 69 Boyz, 95 South, Quad City DJs, also 24K, this and that. We had a whole roster. But we always made sure that our music, we had a dance version, we had a club version, we had a radio version. So
trying to hit all the angles.
So we made sure that everybody had, we had a version for everyone.
Okay.
But the beats per minute is everything still to this day right now to me, because I hear a lot of music coming out now. Big ups to all the new artists that's coming out. All the bangers, all the platinum artists. Big ups to them. But when I'm DJing, the first thing I do is, when I'm reading the crowd, I'm seeing how they dance. A lot of times when you come into the club nowadays versus the back then, a lot of folks, kind of just chilling, trying to see, scope out, maybe sit back. So me as a DJ, I crank up the beats per minute.
Okay.
Just to let them know, hey, look, this ain't nowhere you want to be sitting down. This ain't nowhere you want to be standing on the wall.
Okay.
We going at it. We got 4.5 hours to take off.
Okay.
And the beats per minute is everything for me. So, first I want to thank you so much for inviting me beats per minute, because that's actually what it's all about. And just to answer your question, the beats per minute with us, with the Quad City DJs family, big up to CC Lemonhead.
Yes.
They made all the music. Jay Ski made all the music. They made sure that those beats per minute were up tempo. We got the party started, and we ended the party.
Yeah. It's like just kind of going back and listening to some stuff. I was like, who the hell thought of that? Like, there was like one, I think, mix that they had. I can't remember what song, but I was listening to the beat, and it was like you had like Set It Off.
Oh yeah.
You had like
that was
some slow song.
Yeah, that was 69 Boyz album.
Yeah, I was like
Kitty. Tootsie Roll. Right now we just had a Set It Off. The guy Strap.
Mm-hmm.
He just performed.
Oh wow!
He just did that set. That's like a Duval anthem. Set It Off.
I mean, that's everybody anthem.
Everybody.
Coming from Trenton. My brother actually got his start
as
a DJ. His like first big job, if you will, was at the local roller rink in our town. It was called Capitol Roller Rink. My nephew Tim was.
Wow.
He was up in there, skating a
lot.
I love to skate. That was the joint.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You put that on, and the roller rink going up. You put it on now. Everybody going up because it became an anthem for everyone. Like the fraternities, the sororities. If you was a party goer, and it just takes you back to that time where people are really dancing. Like it's like you're not just. I don't know anyone that can hear that song and you not get to move it.
Exactly.
But I mean, that's the same as the Tootsie Roll. Like, because I was telling you earlier this year when I was at one of my conferences, like they threw that on and it was a madhouse in there, you know what I'm saying? So, and I think that sometimes we forget how important like that was. Like when you think about back then, how much hip hop was a culture, and we had, so many different aspects, but we were dancing. You left sweaty, you left like a mess.
Still to
and
this
so that was, when you went out, when you did whatever, you got some exercise in,
to this day.
So I feel like it kind of kept us healthy a little bit. And I just worry about where they at now. Like, of course, we've seen a lot of different dances that they create on TikTok and different things like that, which is great.
Yeah.
But I mean, we really did.
Yeah.
You took time to practice your little routine
at the house,
you went
in
to
the room.
Exactly. Like, you had to get the outfit right.
Yes.
You had to, everything be perfect.
Yes.
You might have to, if you wasn't an MC and you was a dancer, you was still battling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, it really almost kind of got you in a space where it, we was able to burn calories.
Yes.
We was able to, build up our, stamina, like, whatever the case might be. And so I think about that when I think about like where the music is now. And also it should be, like, I think about the fact, like, what in the next 50 years will they be playing at a cookout? You know what I'm saying? They'll still be playing our music because you listen. I mean, like, you think grandma gonna be able to get up and still, do the little Uzi? You think that's she might end up in the hospital.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about she just want to rock. And now she gotta get a hip replacement. That ain't gonna be pretty, but but
you're right though. You're right though.
Yeah, and it's. I think that we're at a space and time where there's a conversation going on, right, about the 50 years of hip hop. We're still in celebration.
Wow. Yeah.
Should artists from our generation begin to put out music for our generation? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have some artists like Nas, he's one of, the artists that, was still up on the, like in the mainstream, that is still making music.
Yeah.
And he's not trying to make music just for what's out right now, but he's talking about what's happening, like on his level, whatever. And I feel like, I'm just 48, you say you're 51, we still are hip hop lovers. So why are the artists of our day not making music for our generation right now? So we can stay relevant, because
that's a great question.
Yeah, when you look at other genres, of any music. R&B singers, you never had Luther Vandross coming out trying to sound like No Edition. You know what I'm saying? Rock and roll, Mick Jagger ain't never have to come out and try to sound like Guns N' Roses.
Right.
They still made music for their art, their lane, for their fans. And I don't understand why, we don't have that, because I think that we've seen over this year, if nothing else, there's still a hunger.
Yeah.
There's still a desire to hear, what we want to hear, that, we still love it. We still want to support it. They always seem to have a good, crowd for all the old school, you know what I'm saying, like things that they put on. So instead of just having like an old school, like we could have, like you might have been from the old school, but this all new music.
Right. Right.
So do you feel like maybe some of the artists don't do it because they don't think that they will still be relevant or be supported, or, how do you feel about that?
You know what? That's a great question.
I know. I've been asking a lot of
That's a great question.
I know.
That's cool. I'm down with everything. And, I think those same questions too. I think, that same thought process too. That's why, DJ Mike Tyke is about to return.
Oh, okay. So maybe that's why we call this. Type work.
Yeah, because me as a DJ, I love to see people having a good time. That's number one. Off rip, dancing. If you're going to a party, is a party. That means you're going out to party. So, but big shouts out to all the the other rappers or artists like Jeezy, T.I., 2 Chainz, Rick Ross, Gucci Mane. Those guys have been consistent.
They have.
They've definitely been consistent. Trick Daddy, JT Money. Those guys have been Goody Mob, Outkast. Those guys have been consistent. They're going to keep out putting out whatever music, the dance music, hip hop music, trap music, whatever it is to get their party, their crowd hot. So to answer your question, with the dance music, like 95 South, 69 Boyz. My brothers, we're on tour right now.
Yeah.
Everybody's on tour. Everybody's still doing shows. Everybody's still putting out, new music. And I think, like you said, one of the reasons maybe people may not think that they're relevant is because, how the world has changed, with social media, with TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. So now you have the instant fame.
Yeah.
So now you have the instant fame taking over the already fame that's already been. So you have the artists, like ourselves, 95 South, and folks. Do we want to, make new music, or do we want to just promote the same music and keep our same fan base, our same audience, and so that's a hill. That's a hill to climb, and to everybody, to every artist, it's to each his own, because everybody has to feed their family. Everybody wants to keep up their status. So me as a DJ, I just, like to see new artists that come out, and that's why right now it's Tight Work, DJ Mike Tyke coming out as a management, as a Power Moves Entertainment. I want to definitely mentor the young artists that's coming out. We done did the Bang Bang Shoot 'em Up.
Yeah.
I think over the past few years, we done did all the Bang Bang Shoot 'em Up. So we're gonna we're gonna pump the brakes right now. Let's get back to the family love, to the Isley brothers, to the, just having a family good time. We want to see our brothers and sisters grow up. We want to see them go to college. We want to see them, get educated. So my point is that I want to continue to keep the old school.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm an old school guy. I'm an old school hip hop head. And shouts out to God bless you, brother DJ Ready Red, Ghetto Boys. That's what I grew up on. So the music that we made back then, it was. I'm not gonna say it was all positive, but it had a meaning. Whether you was in the club dancing or whether you was at home working or whatever you were doing, you felt the music.
Yeah.
So I want to continue to promote the artists that are putting out music that people can feel.
Yeah.
You know, because everybody's not selling drugs. Everybody not spinning the block, got they get out. Everybody not smoking weed.
Right.
Everybody not drinking.
Right.
You know, everybody not having sex with their homeboy girlfriend. You know, everybody not doing that. Everybody just really want to go out and have a good time. Mm-hmm. Not saying it's, you know, it's a lane for that, but, you know, everybody each his own.
Yeah.
But for me right now, you know, as a DJ, you know, as a positive DJ, you know, I want to continue to promote the good music, the happy music, the fun music. You know, we can slow drag, we can get out at the end of the club, at the end of the party. We can play some Keith Sweat, we can play some Isley Brothers, and know that we came out, we sweated it out, we had a great time.
Right.
You know.
So I was about to ask you something, and I want to give a shout out to, you know, everybody that's on here.
Oh yeah, big shouts out to our folks that's watching. We got a lot of viewers out there. One time for Miss Janae. Okay.
Yeah, we definitely want to thank you guys for tuning in and joining in the conversation. And you know, it's been a really dope one. You know,
right? Yeah.
So I remember what I was going to ask. How are you feeling, or should I say, are you able to mark yourself safe from the Freaknik documentary?
You know what? Big shouts out to the Freaknik. What was that? Old National, all the streets, everything. I hit Freaknik 1 year.
Oh, okay.
And that just
94.
No, that was 95.
Okay, well then you might be safe.
It just so happened. I think that next year it stopped.
Okay.
But the year I came up, when we got off the interstate, it was shut down. So I can honestly say I remember my outfit. I can't remember the street and what exit, but that's why I'm thankful when I enjoy Georgia. Mm-hmm. Because when I ride around the 285, rap 285, 75, I just reminisce on back then when I was up here. Okay. Whether we were performing at Club 112, the Velvet Room, any of the local clubs that were back in the days, you know, we were there. Okay. So Freaknik was definitely, you know, one of those times to remember.
Yeah. I never made it to Atlanta for Freaknik. But they had like somewhat of a Freaknik up in Philly.
Okay.
You know, that we would go up to. You know, and honestly, I think kind of went up to the park, but never really got in the park. But you know, it was just like stuff, like people everywhere in the city, you know, or whatever. And then like, you know, that would be the Saturday. You go to the park, you drive around South Street, hang out, you know, whatever. And then that Sunday, everybody would come to Jersey to the beach. So usually we would go down to Belmar. 1 year we went to Asbury. So, you know, I experienced that. I don't know how much of the craziness was going on from, you know, but, you know, I always wonder, like, you know, I'm very interested just to see from the little snippets I've seen just how bad it was really getting during Freaknik. But it sounds like it was a very interesting time.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah, well,
nothing was bad. The year well, actually, honestly, while Freaknik was going on, we had Daytona Spring Break in Florida.
I have heard of Daytona Spring Break.
It was running
college reunion.
Yeah, Black College Reunion. So that was running neck and neck. So you either was going to Daytona Black College Reunion or you were coming up here to Freaknik. But it was all fun. Everybody was having fun. You know, wasn't no shooting up, bang banging. Yeah, it was hey.
And I think, and that's the biggest thing is, you know, being able to have the space to just be around, you know, other people that look like you, dress like you, talk like you, you know, on different levels, because, you know, you have people that was from the hood, people that was from college, people that was just every day just, you know, working or whatever. You know, it was always fun. I know even for just me, you know, going to the one in Philly, like we look forward to that time of year. You getting your outfits right, you getting your hair done, you know, you getting everything together and, you know, and going and just meeting new people, you know, from wherever and everything. So it was just a really dope time. And, with as a mom of 3 girls, I just always hope that my girls had some of the experiences that I had,
right.
you know what I mean? And just being able to enjoy, and really experience the fun that, this hip hop community can really bring, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And I think that's the biggest thing, I think that, we make jokes about it like I, do, but I think that the really great thing is that it reminds us that as Black and brown people, like, we're so creative. We make stuff out of nothing. You know what I mean? And like, when we get together, like, it's like literally nothing we could, we can't do, because like literally like this hip hop thing, when you think about it, it doesn't even make sense that it is where it is, but it is what it is because this is just who we are. You know what I mean? And that's such a dope thing. So, we got a few things that might be coming up in the near future. You know what I mean? I just want to remind everybody, kind of coming to a close on season 1. We got a couple more episodes left, but we're gonna be on the road. You know what I'm saying? And I say we because I'm pulling him, I'm dragging him. But definitely looking forward to looking forward to a lot of the dope stuff that's coming up. So this weekend we actually have in Atlanta. They have the Auburn Fest. It's going to be celebrating the 50 years of hip hop. You trying to go? What you trying to do?
Yeah. I love the Auburn Fest. I think the Auburn Festival. I was going years ago, and to see all the African culture, all the wherever they're from. It's a whole lot of culture out there. They playing the drum, whatever your culture is, they got it right there on the street.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. I'm definitely going to hit the Auburn Festival. Big shouts out to the promoters and everything that put the Auburn Festival together. I'm definitely going to be out there.
It should be really dope, and what I love about going to stuff like that is you get to see, some underground or undiscovered talent, because they're going to have, the different performers. And like I said, this is specifically to celebrate the 50 years of hip hop. So this should be, really dope. Yeah. Okay, yeah. And then like literally next week, we got the BT Hip Hop Awards here in Atlanta.
Yes.
I'm like, it's a lot going on. Yes. I'm very interested to see how BT is going to do this.
Oh yeah.
Because the
be off the chain, off the meat rack.
And I get it. We've talked a lot about the different awards that have happened over the year, and them trying to do some type of celebratory stay for it. So, being that this is the Hip Hop Awards, it would be interesting to see how they kind of come through. And I get it. I know that, they need to appease the younger crowd. So, a lot of times they're bringing in the younger artists and all of that too. Right. And there's also that argument of like, is the 50th year only supposed to celebrate like first generation, or do you celebrate all the generations that have came through? And I think that like, if you look at it as like an anniversary, right? If you get married and it's your 50th anniversary, you're not
going way back.
Yeah, you're celebrating all the years that you've been with that person, not just, we got married today. Or maybe that's how people look at it, but that's, I look at it as it should be a good mix. And there's so many different artists that have came through
all generations.
Years.
All generations.
Yeah,
right.
And so I know that it's difficult for everyone to be recognized, represented, and I know that we do have to find some kind of way to just give that acknowledgement to everyone, because I feel like everybody played their part. No matter how little or how big, how small, whatever. Everybody played their part in making it what it is.
I mean? I mean, 50 years is a long time.
That's a long time. I ain't even made it.
Hey,
Or
it's a
the
blessing.
50 years
I just turned 51 a couple of weeks ago. So if I could just go back to all the music that I used to listen to all the way up until now, and that's kind of how I live my life. You know, that's if there's any time that I'm feeling down or anything that I may not feel is right, I go to my music.
Yeah.
Whether it's old school, new school, middle school, and it'll get me right.
Yeah.
And outside of the music that we have going on right now, which is cool, because I'm still down. Big shouts out to all the new artists that's out, Lil Baby, everybody, all the new artists that's been out the last 5 years, Migos, God bless. Anybody that's been out that had their run the past 10 years, it's a blessing.
Yeah.
So 50 years is a long time. So you just can't, just stop and just say one genre of music. Whether it's hip hop, well, I mean, this is hip hop, but I mean, one type of artist.
Or like even just one type of region. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I think that,
up north, a lot of times they've been doing it up north, and hey, like my boy Cass don't say, hey, the South got something to say. One time for Outkast, 3000, Big Boy.
Yeah.
They used to more say that the South got something to say. So,
and I feel like, with that being said, they have definitely been saying something. You know what I mean? Because they have had a hell of a run.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And a few weeks ago, I was honored to have my brother's bandmate Willie D on the show.
Okay,
And Houston has played a big part.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Being able to bring hip hop and put hip hop
Scarface, Slim Thug.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Bun B, all of them. And definitely looking forward to being able to celebrate all of them, in November with the Universal Hip Hop Museums tour that will be there. Going to head out there and celebrate that. But they're actually going to be here too in October. There's a tour for the Universal Hip Hop Museum that they're building in the Bronx.
Oh yeah,
they're doing tours in different cities, so they'll be here October 21st.
Yeah, because music, hip hop, R&B, everything is the heart of the African American culture.
Yeah.
So we just can't look at hip hop and say 50 years of hip hop, because R&B somewhere came up in there.
Yeah. And I mean R&B kind of, I think that like when we really think about hip hop as a whole, right? It's had different eras.
Yeah.
So like
eras,
when it first kind of started, you did have like that. When you think of like Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, and shout out to Raheem.
Oh yeah.
Like you had like kind of this sing-songy type of rhyme that they would do. You know what I mean? Because I remember my brother saying how like Grandmaster Flash was his idol.
Wow.
That's who got him into DJing, right?
Wow.
So I literally went to sleep listening to the message every night. It was crazy.
Oh, yeah.
But when you go back and you listen to Super Rap and you listen to White Lines and stuff like that, like that was my joint, right? But it was like a sing song, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so then you got into the 80s where it was like, you got a little bit deeper into the lyrics, then going into the 90s or whatever. But the mixtape era and that blend of hip hop and R&B became so big. It was like there was one time where as a hip hop artist, you could only hope to get a feature or get on a hip hop on an R&B singer.
Oh yeah,
album.
Back then.
And then it flipped.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It was like if you was an R&B singer, you needed that hip hop artist on your So it was really interesting to see that, because that right in the middle of the golden era, or golden age of hip hop is when you saw it. It was like, wow, this is crazy. But going back to what you said about R&B. Hip hop really kind of re-energized the idea of it. because for a little while it was starting to
die down a little
bit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because hip hop was becoming so mainstream.
Yeah, you're
but
right.
then when you put like a Mariah Carey,
Mary
with the
J.
ODP and Mary J. with oh my God,
Ja Rule
exactly.
and all that.
It just became like
the norm. Yeah,
and
Method
now,
Man with
when you think about it, what we're seeing is almost like those marriages back then. We're seeing the kids, because when you listen to R&B now, it's now more like rap. You know what I mean? Like they're not singing like those singers used to sing, but it almost sounds like there's kind of. Tell me.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I just thought of something. I just thought of something, but I think that because I'm always wanting to elevate, and bring our culture back to
Tony
life.
Braxton, absolutely. Faith Evans. Oh my God, yes, Faith Evans.
I think that we need to get back to doing some of those collabs. Mm-hmm. I think because a lot of artists, nowadays everybody's independent. Everybody trying to get their label deal. Everybody trying to get that, that bag. I think we need to just, like I said, I'm pumping the brakes on the whole music game.
Okay.
That's why it's tight work with time. I'm pumping the brakes and just letting everybody know, like, look, we can all get to this. Let's bring back the love for our family. Let's put the bang bangs down for a minute, and let's get some love to our family. So I think it'll be cool because I'm getting ready to do some mixtapes. I done had a lot of artists.
Okay.
Some up and coming artists want me to host their mixtapes.
Okay.
So, instead of them just coming out straight with their singles, and that's cool. Let's bring some R&B, some old school R&B in, and I mean, new, whatever R&B music is, and put out a single with that, and try to see how we can, bring the love back into the culture. Big shouts out to all the female artists, everybody that's coming out doing their thing. But let's just bring that love, because back when we were coming up, it was love. Yeah. We were doing this music thing for the love of the music. We had to take care of our family, had to take care, pay your bills, this and that. Yeah. But I think, everybody kind of got away from the love. It's like a one-hitter quitter now. So let's kind of bring it on back in, retract it in, and let's do the hip hop, the hip hop and just the R&B type thing, the clash.
But it was really interesting. I went to the Revolt Summit last week.
Oh yeah.
And they had a panel conversation with some R&B artists, and so one of them was Tank, and they talked about like where the state of R&B is now.
Oh wow!
And and the idea that you don't have the songs, like the songs that were coming out in the 90s.
Oh wow!
Like, what I mean?
The
like
message.
Yeah.
It was a message back then.
It's just a whole different feel.
Yeah.
And how we need to get back to that. And so it's real interesting, the idea of like that, because like even when you think back, like I don't know about anybody else, but for me, there's certain R&B songs I can't hear without hearing the actual mix from a mixtape. You know what I mean? When I hear like certain songs,
like joint. I think that's up north joint.
Yeah, because why
banging mixtape,
Capri,
R&B,
I mean, of course,
DJ,
DJ Juice.
Yeah,
got DJ Plex. I mean, we had that, mixtapes coming out.
Yeah, they mixed
my big one, what really got me started.
Clue.
Oh yeah, can't forget Clue. Yeah. Shout out to Clue. Thank you, Clue, for that Maya and Jay-Z joint, because I listen to that like every day.
Oh,
still.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Best of Me is still one of the dopest beats joints ever. It had the old school feel.
Yes.
But then it had in the height of the. But anyway, Kid Capri. Kid Capri was the big one for me.
Yeah.
I just remember.
God bless Biz Marquis.
Absolutely, absolutely. I remember, hanging out, and like in the summertime, we had certain streets in Trenton where, you had to hit. You know what I'm saying? Like you wanted to be seen, you was on these streets. So one was like the Ave, where it was Stuyvesant Ave, but we called it the Ave. And then you had the Boulevard, which was, originally it was Princeton Avenue, but then it became Martin Luther King Boulevard because you need that. You gotta have that. Exactly. But if you had a nice car, you got it cleaned up, you had some rims on, you got all your air fresheners, you got a booming system, you got to hit these streets. And I can remember you would just hear, everybody running, but it was like one of the first like Kid Capri mixtapes that I had to get. I don't remember which one it was, but it had the Bonita Applebum mixed with Between the Sheets by the Ozzy Brothers.
What? I gotta look that up. Oh man, I know that was dope.
Changed your life forever.
Yeah.
Change your life forever.
Most definitely.
But yeah, it's just like stuff like that, and it's like you hear it, and it'll just take you back. And that's why I really love YouTube, because like you can literally find
pull it up.
A lot of those, like all the old DJ clues, like you can find all that stuff. And I put something like that in. You might drive a little further. Yeah, you want to listen to it all, and and that was the dope thing about music, back then was it was just like, I think people were so hungry. They loved being different. Like everybody loved being original, being unique, not sounding the same, having that little something, it was a great, like, healthy competition.
Yes, it was healthy. I like that. Now, we're going to take that in 2024.
We have to.
Your music has to be healthy.
Yeah, we have to. Because the bigger thing is one of the key things for me is the idea that, like, your age group into the 60s is now the new, age group that we're seeing passing away. And it's not just about, shootings and suicide anymore.
Period.
Yeah, we're losing people to strokes and heart attacks.
Yes.
Definitely want to take this moment just to send, like my heartfelt prayers out, to, Bone Thugs and Harmony. I know that is Crazy One. I think it's the one that he's been in the hospital, like he's been dealing with a big health issue. Yeah, I just saw that. Like, just can't even imagine. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like they have
shows with them back in the
day. Amazing group. Really just changed the game when they came out, and the idea of that. You know what I mean? Like this group coming out from Ohio, just with a totally different way of rhyming and everything, and how they changed everything. Just like you guys, like it was just so vibrant and just interesting, because you never knew who was going to come out with what.
Who was going to take off.
In the store today, and they was playing the Biggie joint with Bone Thugs.
It's Biggie, it's Bone and Biggie, then life after death.
Oh my God! Like,
that was.
And so
that's what we need.
We need that back.
That's what we need.
We need that back, like that. That when you're in the car and the song come on, and it's like it make you literally have to pull over, because you like, what is that? Exactly. You know what I mean? And I don't know the last time that we really have had kind of that feeling or that experience or whatever. And I just I would love to see us get back to that. I would love to see us not just have rap music, but get back to hip hop culture. Yes, we don't have to necessarily go out again and do graffiti on the walls, but I think that there's still some of those elements we still gotta
just pick up the pieces. Just kind of pick up the pieces.
Because I think that when you think about the 50th, one of the dopest things I saw. Shout out to Man Silk, and I hope that you are home resting and healing. But when he did, the 50th anniversary Rapamania event. It was just dope to see all the aspects, because there was people out there breakdancing. There was people out there doing graffiti.
Wow.
Then you did have the DJs,
Wow.
shout out to, Kevy Kev and all the different DJs and the Sparky D and Chuck D and Public Enemy and everybody. I mean, I can't name everybody, but that was my favorite event that I saw because it really made you feel like
you was a part of this. Like, yo, I grew up with this. I grew up,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm not going to hold y'all, and I know that we could be talking forever.
Hey,
so I'm
ready
gonna,
for the next one.
Just thank you again, sincerely, for coming on. It's been an honor, talking with you. And what's your last thoughts? How can people get in contact with you and know what you're going to have going on, and how can they support you?
All right, word. So once again, I'm DJ Mike Tyke. DJ 95 South, Quad City DJs family, 69 Boyz. But you can get at me on Instagram, DJ Mike Tyke, and just give me a shout out. I'm taking all bookings. Lately I've been overseas, Bahamas, Virgin Islands, just giving them that feel good music. So, yeah. So I'm an international brother. So y'all get your passports, because we taking off. I'm going to Jamaica soon. So, big shouts out to all my independent artists, all the baby boomers of music that's coming out. That's what I'm promoting right now. All the independent artists, our nephew, Ray Blank, KC Clientele. Big shouts out to all the DJs, that we support. We salute you guys. And I'm just one of the DJs just coming up too, just want to give y'all that feel good music. Mm-hmm. Power Moves Entertainment, Power Moves DJs. I'm here with yours truly, Miss Thurzday, Beats by the Minute podcast, and we're going to be back. Big shouts out to OG Dance. That's my organization, nonprofit OG Dance.
Oh, yeah, and I'm definitely going to bring you back on.
Operation Glad Dance. Mm-hmm. We giving love, attention, devotion, dedication to everything you do in life to be successful.
I love it. Well, again, I want to thank you so much, for joining me tonight.
Oh, yeah.
It's been an honor. It's been a real pleasure. Definitely love chopping it up with you. And everybody that has joined in, thank you so much, for supporting the podcast, for joining in, for interacting. We appreciate it. We love it. Definitely looking forward to continuing this thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, we got 2 more episodes, and then we're going to, take a little break to get ready for season 2, and definitely trying to come back bigger and better next season. Definitely make sure that if you're not connected yet, that you're following us on social media at beatsperminute.pod. That's where you'll be able to see a lot of the events and different things that we have going on. And also catch us on YouTube, the Beats Per Minute podcast. We don't have time to watch, but want to listen, you can catch every episode on the weekend, Saturdays, on Spotify, Apple Music, and I believe YouTube has now started their podcasting part, so you can find us on that. So thank you again for, just hanging out with us, for joining in with us. Definitely looking forward to what the future holds. Thank you again.
Beautiful blessings.
You again. All right. And okay. Well, because I need to see this whole DJing thing. Because I might be a little bit of an expert.
Oh yeah. Well, we're gonna link up. We're gonna do this thing. So y'all look out, because Miss Thurzday and DJ Mike Tyke, we got a project coming up. So on our next episodes coming out 2024, y'all get ready, because you might want to be sitting in the seat right here.
You might be. You
might be.
All right.
Other than that, catch us on all the social media platforms, like she just said.
Yes. All right. Have a great night, everybody. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. All right.
Hello, little sister. How are you? Very proud of you and your accomplishments. Love you. Take care.